So it's a pleasure and honor to be with you today. Let's begin the conversation about the evolution of charting in the clinical setting. You may wonder, what was the inspiration behind this topic? Well, it all started one day when I walked onto the clinical unit in a hospital, and before me, there was nothing but a literal sea of cows in the hallway. At each of the cows were nurses either standing or seated by their respective cows. The hallways were a clutter, with minimal space to walk down the hallway. Staff and visitors gingerly navigated the hallway, but I wondered as I walked past the nurses with their respective cows, with their eyes glued to the screen, whether or not there was any engagement between the staff and patients. At times, the nurses, by their cows, would engage in conversation with their fellow peers. But alas, the technological apparatus became an extension of the nurse. So this image represents a somewhat cluttered hallway, but again, the hallway that I walked down that day had multiple cows with their attached nurses. Here's another image of showing a bit more clutter with clusters of staff looking at screens and all minimal engagement. And finally, this is an edited image where on one side shows the family and staff engaged on the left, and on the right showing nurses looking at a bank of computer screens. So here are the discussion points for our talk. As we move forward in this conversation, we will address the nurse's note, the difference between charting styles, the emergence of the cow, and lastly, we will speculate on AI assisting us in documentation. So let's begin with the nurse's notes. What we knew and what we know now is that charting of a simple nurse's note is anything but simple. Research has shown us that training is needed along with feedback, but the evolution of the nurse's notes has evolved such that the average nursing student or medical student does not even know how to write a narrative note. There are so many prompts and templates, and with the advance of electronic health records, we have been placed into a quasi-documentation mode, where if there is no prompt or checklist, then the actual documentation will get lost. Consider the first time a post-op patient goes out of bed. There is nowhere in the electronic health records where this is addressed, and therefore it is seldom charted. The old adage, if it isn't charted, then it wasn't done, is now replaced by charting checklists that say things were done, but they might not have been. In looking at evidence-based practice and research, what are the barriers to writing a nurse's note? As I stated before, it is a lost art. Most clinicians can't write a note without a template. Research has shown there are common themes. At the individual level, a lack of motivation to comply and knowledge. At the social level, it's not considered a priority, but a task. At the organizational level, fragmented structures, and finally, at the technological level, a lack of support and poor access. Notwithstanding the technological aspects of charting, the harsh reality of the impact of a high workload is seldom addressed. Moving forward, we see common challenges. There is a push to see more patients in less time. Individuals fall behind on notes during busy clinic days. There is sometimes over-documenting out of fear of non-compliance or liability. Sometimes we struggle with electronic systems that feel unintuitive. We feel pressure to chart perfectly while seeing a high volume of patients. And lastly, medical education or nursing education doesn't prepare clinicians for real-world charting. There is no one size that fits all. Strategies to combat charting overload and streamline prioritize real charting and delegation where possible are often not met. So let's look at the difference between some charting styles. We have the narrative note, the old-fashioned, and the SOAP note. So just because you have a template doesn't mean that it is adequately addressed. More likely, It is just transcribed or copied from chart to chart or from patient to patient as the length of stay progresses. So in this slide, we look at a comparison between the narrative and the SOAP note. The narrative note is considered now to be an ancient dinosaur, archaic in nature, but it really does contribute to frame a clinical knowledge base on most patients. Most of the time, it is used briefly as an admission note, but look at the elegance of simplicity when it applied to an obstetrical patient, and I provided an example there. On the other side of the slide, the SOAP note, again, elegant in its simplicity, and when properly used, can outline a clinical framework. And yet it has been replaced by the electronic checklist template, which is quite a shame. Looking further, we have SOAPy versus SBAR. We add more acronyms, and which the latter, the SBAR, is typically used at a change of shift report. Again, when used correctly, it can provide a shorthand notation, but it also can have a variable, which is no change in assessment, which gets repeated multiple times. So how do we get to the cows? Where do the cows come from? The premise behind the cow is one of technology coming to help support the process of documentation in the clinical setting. In this quick marketing video, one sees the simplicity of its design, the ability of the cow to be transported across clinical settings, and note the streamlined efficiency of the environment. But just look at this, there's going to be no clutter. So let's take a look at this marketing video. Isn't it amazing? In that marketing video, there was no clutter. Not what we find in reality. So did you know that there's actually a Joint Commission standard in the United States about the cows? And actually it's not being followed in the clinical setting. Computers on wheels are allowed in the corridor only when they are in use. When a staff member finishes using a computer on wheels in the corridor, the expectation is that it's going to be relocated out of the corridor when not in use. Items are no longer considered in use when they have not been used or moved for at least 30 minutes. Although the Life Safety Code has not set this as a code requirement, Joint Commission has established this as a timeline reference. They are not allowed to be parked in the corridor for charging. The fire response plan and staff education should include relocating items in the corridor, such as computers on wheels, in the event of a fire to clear the way for egress. So again, in the reality of the clinical setting, this isn't being done. And we look at some more research, and additional research focuses on more meat sources, such as veal. So research has shown that the encumbrance of technology and to computer systems, time spent, different interfaces, login, access issues, and multiple duplicate submissions, and this is our new environment. So unfortunately, the cows are here to stay. If you read one blog this year, this is a really interesting blog. It's from 2017, and it has to do with the risks of storing cows in the hallways. So just link to that just to show you. And again, it's a really interesting blog, and it tells you about the partial list of risks: falls, blindsided, confidentiality, cleanliness, infection control, which again is a real problem. So let's speculate on the emergence of AI as a modality to assist in documentation. And the future of charting is definitely here. So where are we now? Okay, more research is definitely needed from an empirical and realistic point of view with transparency. There are inherent biases which sometimes are being used as benefits. So even though it will have clinical practice automated clinical decision support algorithms, it does also allow for physician hesitancy and the black box phenomenon, that there is a lack of decisioning because it's already embedded in the code. And we're finding out, unfortunately, GP chat and other things, that there are biases in the code. So where do we go from here? Well, if you think about it in terms of the computer, voice recognition, we have automation, we have different types of AI now. We have the traditional versus the generative. We also have different policies, and again, are we ready for all of this? It's great to have the technology, but when we go and put things into fruition, are we really thinking these things through? And this is just a movie clip from Tron Legacy. Again, you know, is this a movie clip? Is this reality? Are decisions going to be replaced or enhanced by AI? Only time will tell.
I'll be back.
And remember the Terminator saying he will be back. Well, again, we are moving forward into the future, and we don't know what things might look like for us in terms of documentation. This is a really cute computer generated showing a cat with a cow.
I don't think so. No, 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 no. I don't think so. I don't think so.
And again, thank you so much for listening to me. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. If you want to get in touch with me, contact me on LinkedIn, and I wish you a great rest of the conference.